Most men live their entire lives feeling powerless, stuck in a cycle of fear, doubt, and mediocrity. But what if I told you, your true power has been inside you all along? The difference between weak men and powerful men isn't luck, money, or genetics. It's a mindset. Today, I'll reveal the 5 things that separate an average man from an unstoppable force. If you want to be the strongest version of yourself, stay with me. In a quiet town, there was a man named David. He was 35 years old, working a regular job, living a regular life, and feeling lost. He wasn't weak, but he wasn't strong either. He wasn't poor, but he wasn't rich. He wasn't miserable, but he wasn't happy. He was stuck in the middle, drifting, uncertain, powerless. One night, after a long day at work, David sat alone in his small apartment, staring at his reflection. What am I doing with my life? The question haunted him. He knew deep down that he was capable of more success, more confidence, more purpose. But something was missing. That night, an old mentor named Mr. Carter, a retired Marine and a wise businessman, invited David for a talk. "Sit down, son," he said, looking him in the eye. "You feel lost because you don't know where your true power lies. Let me show you. 1. Master your mind, mental and emotional strength." Mr. Carter took a sip of his coffee and said, "The weakest men in this world are those who let their emotions control them. A powerful man controls himself." David listened closely. "Discipline," Carter continued, "is the difference between a king and a slave. Most men wake up late, waste time on distractions, and wonder why they never succeed." He told David a story about a soldier who lost everything but rebuilt his life because he controlled his emotions and refused to quit. "You will fail, you will suffer, and you will struggle. But a man's power is in how he responds to life, not in how life treats him." David thought about his past. Every time he faced hardship, he gave up too soon. It was time to change. 2. Find your purpose. A man without vision is nothing. Mr. Carter then asked, "What is your mission in life?" David hesitated. I don't know." Carter smiled. "And that is why you feel powerless." He explained that every powerful man in history, from warriors to billionaires, had a vision that drove them forward. A man without purpose drifts like a boat without a sail. But a man with purpose? He is unstoppable. Carter made David write down his goals for the next 5 years. For the first time, David felt a fire ignite inside him. Stop living day by day. Chase something bigger than yourself. 3. Become a leader. Power is earned, not given. Carter leaned back and said, "Do you know why most men are ignored, overlooked, and disrespected? Because they don't lead." David frowned. "But I'm not a boss or a leader." Carter laughed. "Every man is a leader of his life, his relationships, and his future. The question is, do you act like one?" He explained that real power is not about forcing respect. It's about earning it. A man who leads by example, speaks with confidence, and stands by his principles becomes magnetic. David realized that his whole life, he had been waiting for permission to be great, permission to take risks, permission to speak his mind. But leaders don't wait, they act. 4. Master yourself, your body, money, and mindset. Carter tapped the table. Look at yourself. Are you in shape? Are you in control of your money? Do you invest in your mind? David shook his head. Carter smirked. Then how can you expect power? He told David that a man who is strong physically is strong mentally. Weakness in the body leads to weakness in the mind. He explained that financial independence equals freedom. A man who is broke is controlled by his circumstances. He handed David a book and said, "Read every day. Knowledge is a weapon. David realized he had been neglecting these areas. It was time to take control. 5. Choose your circle wisely, brotherhood and relationships. As they walked outside, Carter looked at the people passing by and said, "Your friends determine your future. A man surrounded by weak men will stay weak. A man surrounded by strong men will rise." David thought about his friends, the guys who wasted time, partied, and never pushed themselves. Cut out the ones who drain you. Surround yourself with men who inspire you. A king does not sit with jesters. A lion does not run with sheep. David knew what he had to do. It was time to change his environment. The transformation. That night, David went home a different man. He set his alarm for 5 a.m. and started his journey of self-discipline. He wrote down his purpose and took the first steps toward his dreams. He stopped waiting for permission and started taking action. He joined a gym, fixed his finances, and started reading daily. He cut out toxic influences and built a circle of powerful men. Months passed, and David became unrecognizable. His posture changed, his energy shifted, and people started noticing his presence. One day he met Carter again. The old man smiled. "Now you understand. A man's true power comes from within. And once you unlock it, no one can stop you." David nodded. He wasn't just another lost man anymore. He was becoming the strongest version of himself. And so can you. And as these wins pile up, something powerful happens. You start to believe it. You start seeing yourself as disciplined. You start trusting yourself to follow through. You start becoming the man you always wanted to be. And once momentum is on your side, nothing can stop you. Will you take action? By now, you know the truth. You understand why discipline is hard. You know what's been holding you back. But the real question is this: will you do something about it? Most men will hear this message, get inspired for a few minutes, and then go right back to their old habits. They will keep struggling, keep making excuses, keep wasting time. But a few will make the decision. A few will take action. And those men, they will change their lives forever. The choice is yours. Stay weak or step up and take control. Which man will you be? Type it in the comment section.